creatures of the night. It's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Dynamite. This is the second week on Max, and that's where I've been watching. I will say this. The picture-in-picture thing, if you're watching on Max, just give up. We're not getting picture-in-picture. If you are watching on cable TV, which is still airing simultaneously, then you'll be able to see picture-in-picture. Is it a big deal? Probably not, but I don't see why there's an issue with picture-in-picture on the damn app. Now, we start off with a match that I didn't even know was happening. Our bruv, William Ospreay, is back from his week vacation, I think. And he is going against Buddy Matthews. And oh my God, Buddy Matthews, that man, Lord have mercy. Please post your workout routine, something. Give the lady something to watch. He looks absolutely great. I feel like we haven't seen him in quite some time. They did show the last time we seen Buddy, which was in this four-way match, and he ended up winning. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't remember it, but I don't know if he won. If there was something, did he win it to go for? You know what? I'm not gonna sit here and even fucking and act like I remember. But they did show a clip of the last time. That was back in November. And here is Buddy Matthews in the ring this time against William. In my head, I'm just like, let him take the win. We haven't seen Buddy in a long time. What would be the problem with him winning? Apparently, the company have other plans. Once again, it's William Ospreay taking the win. And I'm just like, look, I like him too, but does he have to win everything that he's in? Something about it is just so annoying to me. It just feels like he's already ran through the whole roster already. And with Buddy Matthews being gone for so long, and yes, he won that last match that he was in, but I think people do also like Buddy and would like to see a lot more from him in the entire House of Black. Now, to make matters worse, here is William Ospreay feeding information into Buddy's head, basically getting the whole fucking crowd to cheer for him like we needed your help, and going on to say, oh, you and everyone else in the House of Black, y'all don't need no leader. You all are capable of doing things on your own, whether if it's going for tag team gold or even singles gold. Buddy, you're capable. Bitch, we didn't ask you what you thought Buddy can do or can't do. Don't come on over here and spreading false information or whatever. Can Buddy do it on his own? Sure, he could, but we have not really seen. They have never even scratched the surface with what House of Black can do, and here is William basically ruining the whole damn thing. Now, someone did remind us in the chat that they're doing that little Australia show next month, and Buddy's from Australia, so maybe it's him and his little babyface thing going into that show. Whatever the situation is, I really don't want to see House of Black disband or whatever. And already with just that segment, all of a sudden Fightful is reporting that Malachi Black is done with AEW, but they can't confirm. So what the hell y'all talking about? If it wasn't for that segment, they wouldn't already be spreading fake news on the internet. I am just so over it. After this, we do have Private Party, who is out there on the stage with a couple of the girls. They're not wrestlers, at least I don't think so, but some girls, and they're having a little party thing at the stage, a little VIP lounge. And while they're over there celebrating how they're the first tag team championship match to be on Max, and all that foolishness that honestly don't really mean a damn thing, because everybody's going to be the first to do something on Max. Here comes the Hurt Syndicate. Now, I was a little worried to see if they was going to get attacked or whatever, but the Hurt Syndicate goes through to the little VIP lounge. Cheesecake let them through, and they all are holding little shot glasses, and then MVP's just like, hey, we want to give it up for these young men here, and their success. But the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby goes on to interrupt and say, we coming for those titles. And honestly, I'm here for it, because I'm bored with whatever Private Party is doing. Now, since Bobby got a match, we can't be wrestling drunk. He ends up spilling that drink, and he gets in the ring against Mark Briscoe. So now we have Bobby Lashley versus Mark Briscoe. Now, a little while ago, Mark Briscoe did put his nose into the Hurt Syndicate business to help Danny Garcia and whoever else was over there a couple of weeks ago. And now he's going against Bobby Lashley. Now, Bobby Lashley is very dominating in this match, and I am kind of feeling a little bad for Pastor Briscoe, but whatever. The check cleared and it's cash, so does it even matter at this point? Now, we do have MVP on commentary. Shelton Benjamin just standing there like a, oh Lord, like just a statue looking so good. And for me, I'm just like, all right, Hurt Syndicate, we could pick things up a little bit with this group. So Bobby ends up pretty much beating up Pastor Briscoe. Pastor Briscoe even resort to cheating by rolling under the ring, grabbing a chair and pretty much chopping the chair onto Bobby's chest. And then from there, I'm just like, well, there's no way he's going to end up taking a win from that. Now, MVP's trying to tell the referee that he's cheating. He's cheating, which he did. He did cheat. But that doesn't help. We do have Bobby end up taking the win anyway. Now, after that, they end up beating up Pastor Briscoe in a post-match attack. We love post-match attacks, especially on baby faces. And, you know, Pastor Briscoe, it's not looking good for him, but we do have Private Party who comes out to help Pastor Briscoe. Now, it's looking like the Hurt Syndicate are in the title scene for the tag titles, kind of, maybe a little bit. I can see them definitely having the Private Party team up with Pastor Briscoe to go against, oh, no, wait. I was going to say to go against the Hurt Syndicate, but if they did that, then MVP would actually have to suit up and get that gear on and get in the ring. And actually, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Let's talk about the Casino Gauntlet. All right, so we have the Casino Gauntlet. Whoever wins this match will go against Jon Moxley next week for the world title. Next week, they ain't nothing special. They got just a episode of Dynamite called Maximum Carnage, some shit like that. And to just make it even better, that's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio, where Jon Moxley is from. So that tells you everything you need to know right there. Now, we do have Jay White started off first because he did win that little match last week, that three-way, to be able to get here. And he starts off with Hangman. Now, after this, Wheeler Yuta come on in there. And I have to say, from there, Wheeler Yuta is just getting beat up by everybody. Wheeler Yuta is barely even putting his hands on anyone. He's just getting his ass whooped pretty much the whole time. And honestly, I can't stand for it. What did Wheeler Yuta do to anybody to deserve this? Now, after this, it's Hangman. He's sitting in the ring. And then boom, whose house? Swerve's house. Everybody and their mama done stand up. I am literally about to lose my shit because honestly, I do like the whole story with Swerve. And Hangman is one of those beefs that's always going to be on site. So for me, I was happy about it. Then boom, Ricochet come out. This bitch, Ricochet came out there pretty much just spooking everyone to think that it's going to be Swerve to come out when really it's him. And honestly, he got me. I know he got a lot of people thinking that it was Swerve. He gets on in there. And at times, I do see a lot of people within this match ganging up on Ricochet and also ganging up on Wheeler Yuta. But that right there doesn't really surprise me. Now, after this, for whatever reason, Adam Cole, they're giving him something to do to participate in. Thank you for being in the company. Here's something to do. Then here's Danny Garcia who comes out. And then the seventh person was Will Hobbs. At first I was just like, okay, it's nice to see him getting a little TV time. But it dawned on me when like a couple of minutes in, I realized, okay, he's been pretty dominating. And then that's when I remembered the last match that Hobbs had before he got injured was with Moxley. He got injured on, was it a collision or something like that? I remember it was in Daly's place, and that was the last match that he had where he fucked up his knee, and that last match was with Jon Moxley. So from there, I was just like, you know what, Hobbs might take the win. Roderick Strong come on out there, and then we had Les Archer who came on out there getting a little TV time as well. And then here is Kyle O'Reilly. When Kyle O'Reilly comes out though, Kyle O'Reilly, who's back with the boys again, unfortunately the baby faces are not heels, he comes out there and it's to his music, but on the Tron, it's the conglomeration shit. And I'm just like, whoever did that needs to be fired. Because I didn't know he's part of two groups. I thought he left that group and he don't, got to his senses and went to the Undisputed Kingdom. And it'd be really interesting to know if he's actually part of two groups, because honestly, we don't need that. We don't need that. So now, for no reason at all, an 11th person is in this match, is Jeff Jarrett. And when Jeff Jarrett came out there, I'm just like, the retirement tour, here it is. He comes on out there, but doesn't even make it to the ring because Wheeler Yuta came out there and attacked him, and they end up taking that shit to the back. So Wheeler Yuta, Jeff Jarrett, they out, and Powerhouse Hobbs ends up taking the win. Renee Paquette, who just came out of the blue, popped up in the ring and went to interview Powerhouse Hobbs, and he goes, oh, I want to shoot for a second. John Moxley's the one who got me in here in AEW, but after next week, I want to make him my bitch. And then you see, just look at Renee's face when he says it. Like, her face just dropped like, who is he talking to? Let me just say, it was absolutely funny. And this is the first time since this whole Death Riders foolishness that we're actually seeing a reaction from Renee. Renee has been just, continuing her job like her husband ain't fucking causing a ruckus up in his company. And this is the first time she's actually reacting to something towards Jon Moxley, which was really interesting. But I don't know about, making Jon Moxley his bitch. We'll see about that next week. After this, Jeff Jarrett still makes his way to the ring as if this match ain't even over. And he makes it in there. And here comes our scumbag. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, come on out there. Them red sunglasses he was wearing with that burgundy suit. That ain't it, baby. That look ain't it. He comes on out there. And really, I'm not going to lie, it was boring. The whole little exchange between them was boring. I was like, Tony Khan, did you not watch Raw and see how bored we were on Monday? And you going to come up in here and kind of bore us again on Wednesday? Now, long story short, this is about how MJF said he can help Jeff Jarrett get his hands on the title. And then when he gets the title, then MJF's going to be his first opponent so he can take his title back because he wants the Triple B back. All this foolishness, and Jeff Jarrett ends up calling him a one-hit wonder, and I'm just like, well, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Who are you calling a one-hit wonder? I know you're not talking about MJF. It was boring as hell. I don't know what it is. I understand they want to leave Jeff Jarrett this last little legacy on his last little run here, but for me, I don't know how many people was actually involved. They were in Tennessee, so that's his home state. That helped a little bit with this moment. Maxwell did say that, he only had a year in his contract because that's as much as the business is willing to take from him, just one more fucking year. And for me, I just felt like I just did not care about it. Something about this, I don't want to see MJF feuding with fucking Jeff Jarrett. I don't give a fuck. After this, we have Adam Copeland, Cope, who comes on out there, his little promo on Jon Moxley and the Death Riders, basically saying that I broke my fucking neck and I got back in the ring. I just broke my fucking leg last year and I'm back here in the ring. All these things that he's gone through that hasn't kept him down, and he's back again. And honestly, I was a little bored. Now, here comes the Death Riders music, and I'm just like, thank you, Moxley, put us out of our misery. And just as they're walking through the crowd, they just stand there, and it's only Claudio Mox and Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta was so beaten up from that match that he could barely walk over there. Lord have mercy. Wheeler Yuta have done anything to deserve this. Now, Adam is still looking behind him just to make sure. He's like, hold on, I know there's a whole bunch more members in this group, so I'm going to look behind me and see who's going to pop up on me. Now, what ended up happening was FTR, useless ass, went on out there and they attacked Moxley and Claudio and Wheeler Yuta, but that doesn't do much anyway because they end up getting their ass whooped. And then here comes Marina and Pac. Lord have mercy, packing them abs, those legs. Oh my God, this man have a physique that is just unbeatable. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, just when, for a quick second, Adam Copeland had his hands on Marina, and I was just like, you wouldn't hit a lady, would you? You wouldn't do that. You got a whole bunch of daughters at home. You wouldn't put your hands on a lady. But obviously, Pat gets on in there and makes sure that doesn't happen. They end up attacking Adam Copeland. And before they can even take him out with a plastic bag like they did with Danielson, oh my God, Danielson, we miss you. We miss you, Danielson. Here comes Powerhouse Hobbs to come and break this whole thing. Now, I found that to be funny because if this is real life, sure, this might sound little thing to say, but a black man not gonna just come out there to help people. We will watch you probably get hurt, but we're not going to come out there to help. Now, it makes sense, obviously, because of the whole, thing going on with Moxley and Powerhouse Hobb having their match next week, but whatever. Something about this I didn't care for. Too much talking, a little bit too much talking. I wanted to see a little bit more wrestling. After this, we do have a little promo backstage with Harley Cameron and Mariah. Harley Cameron is being so cute as usual. Beautiful. She has this personality that I absolutely love. She's trying to get her way into going in a match with Mariah. She's like, look, even if it's not for the title, maybe an eliminator match or something, let me get in the ring with you. And Mariah doesn't really seem to give a fuck anyway. And I think they're gonna have their match on Collision. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she'll get her match anyway. Whatever situation is, Mariah, baby, we're bored. Harley Cameron is much more entertaining, but in terms of wrestling, Harley Cameron has a lot more ways to go to be a better wrestler. So it's interesting to see what she would do in the ring with Mariah. After this, we do have a three-way match with Statlander, Toni Storm, Willow Nightingale. Winner of this match will be the first entry of the Casino Gauntlet match for the women. So whoever wins that match next week will go against Mariah for the women's title. For me, I'm just like, fuck it. Just let Toni Storm win. Whoever wins this will just be the first entrant in that Casino Gauntlet match, but don't necessarily get to face the champion. However, whoever loses this match, they won't be in that Casino Gauntlet match. So for me, I was just like, all right, Toni Storm, whatever. Let her get the win. It don't matter to me. I just didn't want it to be Willow, to be honest with you. But Statlander ends up taking the win. These girls are really, really great. You can see that there is still this thing going on between Willow and Statlander throughout the match. They do want to be friends. Statlander actually did an interview the other day with Renee Paquette. She wants to be friends with Willow and Orange Cassidy for whatever reason, and she just wants to slowly ease her way into the friendship. But in the meantime, they have to face each other in this match. So you can see that there's a little bit of tension, but also a little bit of resistance as well with the two girls here in this match. So I thought that with that would help Toni Storm take the win, but I guess not. Statlander wins, and she's going to go on to get in that #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. And I've been saying for quite some time, like, we don't see gauntlet matches with the ladies, so this is a good thing for them to have for the girls. We would love to see something like a Continental Classic for, I don't know, for the TBS title, even the women's title, whatever the situation is. We would love to see those type of opportunities for the ladies as well. But even though this was the last match of the night, this wasn't exactly the main event. Kenny Omega, Lord have mercy, Kenny, we miss you so much. After Kenny has had an amazing match over there in Japan at Wrestle Dynasty, the show that AEW didn't even bothered to promote. They finally were showing clips from that show, and I was just like, oh, okay, now that the show was over days ago, now y'all want to talk about something that y'all barely even mentioned in the past few months that Wrestle Dynasty has been, people have been talking about Wrestle Dynasty since way before the summer. So, you know what? I'm not even getting to it. Tony Khan, you're wrong for that. Anyway, Kenny Omega comes out there. After an amazing match with Gabe Kidd, he is fucking got stitches and he got all this bandages on his head and everything. Kenny, we miss you so much. Kenny is here. He's doing his little promo talking about his tuberculosis and how he almost died and all that stuff. All these things that I just can't handle. Kenny, what was I going to do without you if we lost you? And long story short, it was pretty much what he said. He said that last time he was in the AEW ring. But then he was interrupted by Uncle Don. Uncle Don comes out there, and Kenny remembers everything that Uncle Don has done to him in the past year or so. Well, more than a year, like 2 years actually, something like that. And he's just like, you know what, fuck it. He out here, let me go whoop his ass. He goes over there to put his hands on Uncle Don. Uncle Don, this is elder abuse, Kenny. Even you shouldn't be putting your hands on your elders. And he's beating him up. But then that is the gateway for Don Callis family to come on out there. So Lance Archer and Brian Cage coming out there beating up on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega don't deserve this. And then Kyle Fletcher came on there. Kyle Fletcher with the crop tops and these crazy jeans and pants he's been wearing. It's been really interesting to see the fashions as of late. He gets involved as well. And for me, I'm just like, okay, well, Kenny, where are your friends? Who's going to come out here and help you? It's not going to be the Young Bucks, obviously. They in Japan over there doing whatever they're doing. But instead, it's William. William Ospreay. I've seen enough of you on this episode already. And the first match, well, you know what? The first match I did think was the best match of the night, but that doesn't matter. I want to see Will Ospreay again. He came on out there to help Kenny Omega, and John Kyle's family ended up scattering like flies. But the two of them, Omega and William, they're in the ring. They're staring off at each other, and you can see that there is obviously, you know, some resentment. They remember things from their feuds in the past, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. Whatever. Next week, Kenny Omega's going against Brian Cage. And, you know, Kenny had to start off somewhere. So, Brian, thank you for being the one, the sacrificial lamb, to be the first person to go against Kenny in AEW. Other than that, I would say I was pretty bored for most of the show. I felt like they could have just been the Death Riders thing. Once again, you guys, I see the vision, kind of. Well, at least I'm seeing what I want to see and hoping that it would happen. And it's just not there yet. Something about this is just not where it should be. And I'm wondering if other fans are feeling the same way. We could do a lot more with that group. There is so much potential when it comes to a heel faction. The whole thing about the House of Black thing, I hope they don't get rid of that group, because we hardly seen anything with them either. Other than that, too much talky for me. I prefer to see a little bit more wrestling. So for me, I just felt like, you know, we're watching the episodes weekly. Every episode's not gonna be a fucking a home run. Some of them are just okay, while some of them are much better than others. So if you didn't see it, go ahead and check it out. Now that it's over, just skim through some things. So some things are actually worth watching, while other things aren't. That first match with William and Buddy was great. I would love to see a lot more with Buddy and the whole House of Black doing something at some point. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back tomorrow with a review on Ring of Honor. Bye.